Hello everybody and welcome to part 1 of What If Izuku Midoriya Was a Member of the Nova Corps. This series was suggested by Kid Zeus Entertainment, so go check him out after this video if you want. There will be a link in the description below to his channel and in the annotation above. If you are new around here, you can always hit that big red subscribe button. Just hit that like button if you want to see more of this series. Now we started about 15 years before the start of the main series. Midoriya's father was a supernova member, a member of the supernovas, the kind of the elite black ops Nova team, an elite team of Nova Corps members that performed black ops type stealth missions. But after his son was born, Hisashi Midoriya decided to retire to spend more time with his family, moving back to Earth. In this version of events, Midoriya's father works a lot closer to home, seeing Midoriya every night and telling him bedtime stories about the Nova Corps. For his early childhood, Midoriya is still bullied for being quirkless, but his father still encourages him to be a hero. During his time in retirement, the Nova Corps eventually falls, and Titus, one of Hisashi's old Nova buddies, who was kicked out of the Nova Corps and imprisoned because of stuff he did that was illegal, made his way to Earth to find Hisashi and take the Nova helmet, because it's one of the few that are left. One day, about 1 week before, that are working and left. One day, about 1 week before the beginning of the series, Titus arrives on Earth and finds Hisashi on his way to work. Titus says, "Hisashi Midoriya, your Nova helmet, please." Hisashi looks at Titus surprised. He says, "Titus? What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Nova prison for killing all those innocent Shiarans." Titus grabs Hisashi by the throat and says, "Newsflash. The Nova Corps collapsed 2 or so of your star rotations ago." Titus pulls Hisashi closer and says, "Your Nova helmet, where is it?" Hisashi breathes fire at Titus, freeing himself from his grasp and falling to the ground. Hisashi then says, "I got rid of it once I retired. Why don't you get one from Xandar?" Titus says, "Xandar is gone. The only remnants of the Nova helmets are those members outside of the planet, are those that the people outside of the planet had. So if you don't have one, I have no use for you." Titus uses his blaster arm and in the middle of a deserted street kills Hisashi. And then says into his communicator he doesn't have one. This was a waste of time. Titus gets teleported onto a ship and leaves Earth. At the end of the day, Midoriya arrives home and expects to see his father like always, to hear some Nova stories. Midoriya enters his house and hears his mom crying. He runs to the living room and asks, "Mom, what's wrong? What's going on?" She is talking to a policewoman, and Inko says, "It's your father, Izuku. He's been murdered by a villain." Midoriya starts crying and runs into his room, jumping on his bed into his pillow. He looks at his desk, seeing a helmet that his father gave him as a gift when he was about 5 years old. Midoriya has a small flashback and remembers his father giving him the helmet as he said, "This helmet is the only thing that remains from my time at the Novas. I need to keep it safe, and who is it safer with than you?" Midoriya grabs the helmet and puts it on while crying, while still some tears come down his eyes. A hologram then displays from the helmet while a Nova suit manifests around Midoriya. The hologram is of his father and says, "Izuku, if you're seeing this, it means 2 things. You decided to try on the helmet, in which case you should probably come talk to me, or I'm dead." In case it's the second, there are a couple things I have to tell you. The stories I told you as a child, the ones about being a space hero, they were all real. This is a helmet of the Nova Corps, at least the supernovas. The home base of the Nova Corps is on Xandar, so when you have summer vacation or a long weekend, you should go visit. Get a bit of training. I know you want to be a hero, and with this helmet you can be. We probably need an excuse since you are quirkless for how you get this power suddenly. The holograms look like he's thinking for a moment, and the hologram of Hisashi says, I got it! You can say that you have an energy-based power, and the helmet is a support item that allows you to harness that power. In any case, the helmet gives you access to the Nova Force. It will allow you to fly, shoot lasers, give you enhanced strength, breathe in space, and underwater. And many other cool, awesome abilities, including a map of the recorded universe. And good luck, Izuku. I love you. And the hologram disappears. Midoriya takes off the helmet and lets a couple of tears fall down his face. And he whispers, I love you too, Dad. The weekend quickly arrives and Midoriya tries the helmet again, taking it for a test run. He flies around for a bit at high speeds, and after 10 minutes he stops and says, This is awesome! He looks at the sky and starts flying up, reaching space in seconds. He then says, Helmet, can I have a map to Xandar? Can I have a map to Xandar? A display appears in front of him and Midoriya follows it. Flying at rocket-fast speeds, Midoriya arrives at Xandar in what feels like an hour. He then goes to inspect the planet, but what he finds is just a bunch of rubble and corpses. He then asks, what happened here? Midoriya lands on the surface and starts looking around. Midoriya, finding nothing but death and destruction, Midoriya decides to return home. He arrives and the weekend has already passed due to time dilation. He arrives at home and his mom, worried sick, asks, Where have you been? Midoriya grabs the helmet, showing her. Inko quiets down for a moment and says, Oh, you know about that. Midoriya says, I do. And both of them embrace. A couple of days pass and Midoriya updates his quirk information. Midoriya goes to school a couple days later. The teacher says, As third-year students, it's time you start thinking about your future. I would pass out career aptitude tests, but why bother? He throws the papers into the air and says, I know you all want to go to the hero track. The class starts getting excited and starts using their quirks. The teacher says, Yeah, you all got some very impressive quirks, but no power usage allowed at school. Get a hold of yourselves. Bakugo says, Hey teach, don't lump me in with this bunch of losers. I'm the real deal, but these wannabes will be lucky if they end up as sidekicks to some busted D-lister. The class starts booing Bakugo, and Bakugo says, Let's go, I'll take you all on. The teacher looks at his information and says, Huh, maybe you will get into UA High. And the class starts mumbling. Someone says, That place is impossible to get into. Bakugo jumps on the table and says, That's exactly why it's the only place worthy of me. After all, I've aced all the mock tests. I'm the only one at this school who stands a chance of getting in. I'll end up more powerful and famous than All Might himself. And it all starts with UA High! Then the teacher says, Oh yeah, Midoriya, don't you want to go to UA too? And everyone starts laughing at him. Bakugo then attacks Midoriya, throwing him on the floor. Why would they want you when they can have me? Defenseless Izuku. Later after class, Midoriya looks at the news while packing to go home. Bakugo and a small group walk towards him. Midoriya grabs his notebook and then Bakugo takes it from his hands. Bakugo says, I don't know what you think you're doing, Deku, but we are done. Bakugo's friends start laughing at Izuku after reading the title of the notebook. Midoriya says, Give it back, Kachan. Bakugo blows up the notebook and throws it out the window. Bakugo taunts Midoriya Bakugo laughing at Midoriya and tells him to not even think about applying to UA. The students say, I thought he had at least had some fight left in it. Midoriya grabs the helmet from his backpack, which is like cloth when you don't have it on if you want it to be. He puts it on and blasts Bakugo against the wall. Bakugo says, What the hell? And gets mad and wants to attack Midoriya, but is stopped by his friends who said, Too many people around, dude, as other classes start looking at what's happening. The guy says, Seems like he has more fight in him than we thought. Midoriya goes down and grabs his notebook. He then puts on his backpack and using the Nova helmet flies home, avoiding the sludge villain incident. The next month goes by very quickly and summer vacation arrives. Midoriya, with permission of his mother of course, goes out into space for a period of time, the summer vacation. helping people out, fighting space tyrants, and finding out more stuff about the Nova Corps, what happened to them and whatnot. Also getting a bit of attention drawn to him. After the vacation is over, Midoriya returns to Earth to resume school as normal. He spends the next few months until the UA entrance exam training both with the Nova helmet and without it, training his body at Dagobah Municipal Beach, and of course dealing with Bakugo. He seems to have become a lot more aggressive after what Midoriya did to him. After 6 months of waiting, the UA entrance exam finally arrives. Midoriya walks into the gates of UA very excited. He walks through the school tripping on the way. He is caught by a girl and she says, "Sorry for using my quirk on you, but I didn't think you would mind. Isn't this way nerve-wracking? Well, good luck." The girl runs off and Midoriya says, "Good luck," like whispers behind as she goes. Midoriya walks into the building and the orientation / explanation of the exam goes pretty much the same as in regular continuity. So afterwards, Midoriya goes to testing ground B. He sees Uraraka and is about to go talk to her, but is stopped by Ida, who says, "It looks like she's trying to focus on the trials ahead. Maybe you should do the same." And everyone looks at Midoriya thinking that he won't be able to pass. Midoriya says, "Right," and thinks to himself, "Why does it feel like everyone already wrote me off?" President Mike then interrupts saying, "Go, go, go! There are no countdowns in real battle." Midoriya quickly puts on his helmet, and as everyone runs into the testing ground, Midoriya just zooms past them, going in and blasting as many robots as he can. In the first 8 minutes, he managed to take down about 40 by going deeper into the city than anyone else. He then sees a giant robot coming out. He thinks that's the 0-point robot. Useless to fight him. Midoriya then hears a scream and runs to help, grabbing, kind of rocketing into the robot, going through it, destroying it. And then he goes down, grabbing Uraraka before the robot debris can land on him. Midoriya lands on the ground and Uraraka asks Uraraka, "Are you okay?" Uraraka says, "Fine, just a bit hurt. Thanks for saving me." Midoriya takes off the helmet and says, "Let's call it even," because she saved him before. President Mike then announces the end of the exercise, and Recovery Girl comes into the training ground and heals Uraraka. A week later, Midoriya is at home watching a video online when his mom comes busting into his room. She says, "It's here, Izuku!" Midoriya thanks her and grabs the letter. He goes to his desk and tears it open. A small disc falls on the desk and a hologram comes out of it. Midoriya sees All Might on the screen and says, "Holy crap, it's All Might!" All Might says, "Congratulations, young man. You have managed to get into UA with 40 rescue points and 66 villain points. Not only did you get into UA, you got the first spot. Congratulations. You're now part of a hero academia." Izuku looks at the screen and then looks at his helmet, and with tears coming down his face, he says, "I did it, Dad." Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, you know what to do. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. And remember, I now have a Discord, which I think this is the second time I'm telling you about, because I'm recording this out of order. So, you guys can always check it out. It's in the description below. And until next time, have a nice day, everyone.